You're listening to the Social U podcast, sponsored by Social University. Be sure to follow us on our socials listed in the show notes. Now, let's dive in.
Laura's pig shaming me.
I did too. I would have a pet pig, but that was sad to me. That was not positive.
I'm Becky Johnson.
And I'm Laura Black, and welcome to the Social U podcast. We already have our fearless leader, Karen Taradas, in here with us.
Woo woo.
Woo woo.
So something that is huge in social media that a lot of people don't know a lot about is influencer marketing. There's a lot of misinformation out about influencer marketing. So I found an article on buzzfame.in, and it talks about some of these different myths. And so I just wanted to go through them and discuss them based on what we've seen.
That'll be interesting.
So the first one is that influencer marketing is all about online content. These influencers have speaking engagements. They have live shows that they do. Karen has been to a live recording of a podcast. So that is kind of like fringe social media, but not really. But it is digital marketing, but also it was in person. Why don't you tell us about your experience at the live podcast?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to hear about that.
I am a big fan of the podcast with Knox and Jamie. They were local when they started, but I think Knox doesn't live here anymore. And they go on tour once a year and do a live show. And it is incredible. They're so funny and they're so very talented. And both of them are so gifted at off-the-cuff humor. I've seen them live twice. Highly recommend it. Love it. Just outstanding. And they record those shows too.
And I would consider them influencers because they have
too.
a large following. Their podcast is very popular.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not what you think of when you think of social media. Social media influencer.
No, and they have they've had shows in the past where, and I'll be the first person to agree to this, when they very first started doing podcasting before it paid for them to do it, their family's like, well, how do you make money doing that? People are still mystified by, so how do you make money? Well, we have affiliate, we do sponsorships, we have, people who sponsor the show. We have ads that run during the show. They have a Patreon where they get paid. There's ways to get paid. And of course they make money I'm sure they make great money on the live shows, but that's fascinating to me. And if you're interested in making money, they have a whole episode about how they make money. So that's something you can go look at. But when I first started doing this, people would do the same thing. Like, you do what? You make money. I had somebody ask me that like 2 weeks ago. How do you make money doing this?
Well, it's funny too, because I'm a Gen Xer. So, we grew up listening to the radio and all that was free. And all that was, who cares about the advertising? For at least the older crowd in the bunch, we're ingrained to think, how in the world would you make money just by talking and listening? But the world has changed so much.
To be fair, Gen X is a different breed. We're all Gen X. And some of those kids' movies will scar you for life.
It's true.
Some of those movies. Woo.
That leads right into our next myth, which is that influencer marketing is only relevant for Gen Z audiences.
Mm-mm.
It's not about the age as much as it is the niche.
We say niche, Becky.
Right?
Do we though? Are we?
Listen, I moved to Ohio and I say salmon, and you'd be amazed how many times I have had to say that since I moved here. And they look at me like I just climbed out of a hole.
Well, it is technically incorrect.
It does technically have an L in it.
I think my dad says that too. And he'll
say lasagna.
Older generations, such as millennials and baby boomers, use social media, extending the reach of influencer marketing beyond Gen Z. Yeah, it's amazing how many people are literally on social media. It's not just young people.
All the really big money makers I know who are influencers are over 60, every single one of them. Mm-hmm. There is a whole community of food creators who are older, like grandmother folks, and they make money. They make money from book sales. They make money from endorsements and affiliate marketing, but boy, they make money from views.
So listen, if you're a little bit older and your dream is to be a social media influencer, it's not too late for you.
Nope, it's never too late.
There's two guys in their 80s who record music who now have like 2 million followers, and they got a deal with T-Pain. So It does happen.
Myth number 3, it's expensive to work with influencers. Now, I feel like this one, it depends on your influencer. If you are thinking about a Kardashian, yeah, that's probably not in the budget. But if you were thinking about someone that posts about local restaurants and everybody in the city follows them to see what they think about these local restaurants, and you happen to be a local restaurant, it's probably not going to cost you a lot to work with that person.
Nope.
It might cost you a free meal.
Nano influencers and micro influencers are super popular right now because, number one, people are getting further and further away from, they don't care what the Kardashians think.
It's about time.
It's about time. And that curated, overly edited, stylized, formulaic version of life, people aren't into that.
I told you when I lived in Birmingham, I had a climbing gym reach out to me and invite my family to come climb at their climbing gym all day for free if I would post about it on my social media, because I had high engagement from the people that lived in my city. And so, I mean, that was all it took for me. He didn't have to pay me. He let me have, imagine how much it would cost for me to take my husband and all of my children to a climbing gym. I made a lot of money that day, even though I did not get paid.
Yeah. Good compensation. Yeah.
I've had a clothing brand reach out to us about wearing their stuff on TikTok. And I can't see myself doing that, but I was deeply like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
I've been sent a lot of free things from businesses on Instagram. Now, a lot of times when businesses reach out to me, it's totally a scam and I can tell it's a scam. But I've had several where they were just like, can we send you something? And then you make a post about it.
Yeah.
And so I love it. Myth number 4, measuring the ROI of an influencer campaign is challenging. We are pretty knowledgeable about campaigns and how to track the analytics of those campaigns. And it's pretty easy, honestly.
And I mean, a lot of times engagement dips when you do collaborative. So you have to be careful about who you choose. Laura, who's your favorite influencer?
I don't know.
Wrong.
It's not helpful.
Wrong.
This is
I think Brock is your favorite.
Probably Brock. Yeah.
Perfect opportunity for you to say Ziva. Ziva.
You could have said Becky from Bama. That would have been fun.
I mean, that's how my brain is not working right now. But yeah, I would probably go say Brock. Yeah, I really like what he has to say. And I've tried several of his things and he keeps it real. I don't know. He's got too much energy for me, but hey, there's that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of influencers I like, but their delivery style is way past the content. Like, content's really solid, but the delivery style,
yeah,
I just can't.
Yeah.
There are a couple of momfluencers that have big families that give big family tips that I like to follow because I have a big family and I like to save money. And she'll be like, this is how I make lunch for all my kids. This is how I do this or do that. And I'm just like, I'm taking notes,
Who's your favorite one, Becky?
Yeah. Some anime something.
I don't know. I do like the Crunchyroll
There it is.
Instagram, but I don't know that I would consider them an influencer since they're like an entire TV channel.
My kid would probably like Mr. Beast.
My kid definitely loves Mr. Beast. He's going to come up later in a little game we've got.
Well, I'm here for the segues. Let me just tell you. I'm here for that today.
Myth number 5, nano and micro influencers can't produce effective results.
Wrong.
We know that's not true.
False. Yeah. Well, like these nano and micro, what keeps sticking in my head about this whole topic is it's networking. It's who you know and how you put those networks together. And you can do it in the flesh. You can do it on social. You can do it all these places. But man, it comes down to who you know.
They have in this article, they have a stat here. I know we love numbers. And it says nano influencers with 0 to 10,000 followers can attain an astonishing 4% engagement rate, while macro influencers normally see 0.8 to 1.4%.
Yep.
So even though they have more followers, are those followers actually paying attention?
Nope.
Right. It's the quality versus quantity in so many situations.
Community.
Which is
It's
why we
all
don't
about,
buy followers.
yeah,
Yep.
it's all about your community. And I don't mean that TV show with Donald Glover.
Myth number 6, influencer marketing is only good for brand awareness.
Let's go back to the food creators, shall we? They work together very well. And there's a handful of Southern food creators that just do amazingly well. And if they shout out each other's cookbooks, they make money coming and going.
Well, speaking of Mr. Beast, we just talked about Mr. Beast. He and one of those Paul brothers, they're all the same to me. I don't know which one it is, have now collaborated on basically like a Lunchable.
A Lunchable?
Really?
It's called like a Lunchly or something. And it's Mr. Beast and one of the Paul brothers.
Lunchable better watch out. There's such a following behind them. That's funny.
Myth number 7, there are no rules for influencer marketing. This is a huge one because even just with like the Amazon influencer store stuff that I do, like if you don't put #ad or sponsored content or you don't say it in the video, like you can get into really big trouble.
Big trouble.
There are definitely rules. You have to tell people that you're sponsored, tell people that it's an ad. Like there has to be some transparency to let people know I am going to make money from this. Even with affiliate marketing, you have to say, if you go to this website and you sign up for this product, we will get a small commission from that. And people know, like people don't care that it's sponsored because most people aren't going to do content for products or services that they don't like, even if they are offered money for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and like in the good old days, 5 minutes ago, when like Popcast was putting out all this quality entertainment and they weren't really making any money, I went and signed up for Patreon and I've never logged into it ever. I just want to support them because I feel like the content's worth it. I have several creators I do that with. One is Mel Hamlet. I love her and I support her on Patreon just because I like her content. I don't ever go listen to her on Patreon, but I just want to be supportive.
Myth number 8, influencer marketing is ineffective for B2B brands.
Wrong.
I mean, when you come down to it, business to business, you're not talking to the building. You're still talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're still appealing to a person who makes those decisions. It's all people. It's all going to be a person. The actual building, the paperwork that says incorporated is not the person or not the thing that's looking at the social media.
Yeah. And I think the business to business it's a different viewpoint for sure. Different strategy, different all of that, but it still can be influenced.
Myth number 9 is one that we are very familiar with because so many people are very unfamiliar with it. And that is that influencer marketing gives quick results. Social media, the magic bullet, you put it out today, you'll have 3,000 new followers tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Most likely not.
Hilarious. Yeah, that's so false.
Oh my goodness.
Why don't you tell us, Karen, how you went from 0 to however many thousands of followers on TikTok? Was that like in a day?
Oh, it was in 3 short years. Yeah. It takes time to build that up. I think the best case study in that is Coco Melon, who went from obscure. And people say this all the time. You'll hear a reporter, oh, this artist became famous overnight. Nope. They've been doing the same thing for 10 years. You just noticed them yesterday.
Yeah.
It's super insulting, I'm sure, to the people that hear that too. Like, oh, overnight? Like, I've been doing the grind for 7 years. This is not overnight. We put in like a ton of work on this.
Yeah.
I mean, that plays all into the fake front that is everywhere with the Photoshop and all that stuff. It just plays right into that. People think it's instant. So, I can do it instantly too. And it's just not reality.
Nope. I found a new show I like. It's 2 British women who tell scary stories.
Oh, no.
And for those of you who know me in real life, I love horror stories, but movies scare me. I can't watch horror movies. So this is the best of all of it. It's the scary story. It's in an awesome voice.
So if you listen to it before you go to bed, do you then have to listen to a palate cleanser to be able to sleep? Because if I watch like a 48 hours video before I go to bed, I then have to watch like a crafting video before I sleep.
Did you not hear me say the part out loud? I'm a wuss. I can't watch horror movies. I can't listen to that at night. Are you high?
This last one is influencer marketing is effective for CPG brands, which is consumer packaged goods. And this is talking about like how it's not, but I believe it could be also.
Well, I'm heavily influenced to buy, everything.
I feel like this is a typo because even in the paragraph underneath it, it talks about how it can be effective for any brand. So I think it's supposed to say that it's not effective. And that's the myth because, it can be effective for anything. If you have the right influencer, that's the whole thing. You are like selling a math course in how to do complex trigonometry.
Gross.
You're not going to get Ariana Grande to be the influencer that pushes your product. You're going to get somebody like Neil deGrasse Tyson or somebody that people look at and think, that's a smart dude that knows a lot about science and math.
But like Mississippi Queen, we'll just use her as the example because everybody knows who she is. She's on TikTok. She's got over 2 million followers. I watch a lot of her stuff because I like the kitchen gadgets. The cookware she uses, love it. Does it make her money? You bet. Now, if I was a cooking creator and I wanted to sell any kind of food related, there's a toffee that's popular on TikTok. They have, I follow a marshmallow company, anything like that. If she incorporated that into one of her recipes, it would sell. There's a reason they team up with other food.
Networking.
Yeah.
So if you are thinking about using influencer marketing, do your research, find an influencer that is going to work for you. And if you're thinking about being an influencer, start monopolizing on your engagement because the engagement is what's going to really matter. If you have high engagement, you'll gain followers.
Yeah, 100%. You guys, if you've been following us for a minute, I've been preaching about community as a trend since the end of last year. And it's truer today than it was 8 months ago.
Because we talked about influencers today, I thought for our this week in social media that we could play a little game.
Ooh, I like games.
I am going to name a platform, and you are going to try to tell me at least 3 of the top 5 accounts on that platform.
Ooh, I'm going to fail.
So the first one is TikTok. Karen, this is your sweet spot. Can you name at least 3 of the 5 top influencers?
Yeah, Mama Tot, Elise Myers, and I don't like Charli D'Amelio, but she's super popular.
So you got 1 right out of that. I feel like the others also should be, but Charli D'Amelio is number 2 on this list. Number 1 is someone whose name I don't know how to say, Khabane.
Oh, he is the creator that doesn't speak. Like when you see...
is he this guy?
Oh, where he's like...
Oh, okay. Do you know how to say his name?
No, that's why I didn't say his name a minute ago, or I would have guessed him first.
The guy that does this.
The guy that goes...
Number 3 is Mr. Beast.
Oh.
4 is Bella Poarch, who I've heard of, have no idea who she is. And 5 is Addison Rae.
They're all teeny bopper, dance around half naked girls, except for the dude.
I'm the least informed of this group, and I didn't know who any of them were, except for Mr. Beast. I did get it.
Yeah, Mr. Beast. But yeah, Ophelia Mama Tot is a positive influencer. She's had a little bit of pushback lately because she said something political and everybody got up in arms because everybody's...
I've heard of her, but I couldn't tell you what she does.
She's from Alabama.
She is, and she comes to the rescue a lot. Like if somebody's getting ganged up on, or she's very accepting, and she's very... I mean, there's a reason they call her Mama Tot. She's very nice.
Now we're going to do Instagram. Now this is accounts, not just like people. So what do you think 3 of the top 5 Instagram accounts are? And so Laura, you try this one because I feel like you're more Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. Oh, okay. But see, I live in corporate world, so.
That's true.
You
can play also, Karen. I see you biting your tongue.
There's got to be a Kardashian on there.
And I'm not in pop culture, so I don't know.
Like if it was business, I'd say Amy Porterfield and Jenna Kutcher. And Brock would be my 3 that I'd pick. Or
yeah.
This is just total Instagram.
I see a ton of Jennifer Allwood too.
Oh,
None of those are people that are in the top 5.
Those wouldn't be.
What about like I can see her in my head. She is a motivational speaker and everybody listens to her.
I don't know who you're thinking about, but there's not one of those in the top 5.
Okay, I if I had a white flag, I'd wave it. I surrender.
And I feel like it depends on industry, community, whatever. So, sorry.
So this is on all of Instagram. The number 1 account is Instagram's own account.
Yeah.
That's like
Number
that stupid
2,
guy on MySpace.
right?
Is that like high-fiving yourself in public?
It is.
Number 2, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay.
3, Leo Messi. Soccer,
Really?
nay, football is huge in the rest of the world.
I know. I was
Selena
like, soccer?
Gomez is number 4.
Really?
And Kylie was number 5. There was a
Who's
Kardashian.
Kylie? Oh, Kardashian. Gotcha.
I'm assuming it just says Kylie. I'm assuming it's Kardashian.
Well, Selena has got the whole triple threat thing because, like, she records and she has Murders Only in the Building, which is really hot right now, and she has her own makeup line, which people really like.
And she's adorable.
Apparently, I need to crawl back under the rock that I came from because I don't know where anything is.
So the next one I feel like is the one that we're probably on the least, but I feel like may be the easiest, and that is the artist formerly known as Twitter.
Oh no, it's got to be political, and I don't even care.
I don't know. It could be sports. I'm going to lean sports. There's so much sports.
Give me some names.
ESPN.
I'm going to go with whatever pro team is headed for the Super Bowl.
The Bears.
I like where your heads are at. Those are not correct. But I like how you're thinking.
But you're very wrong.
What is it? Hit us.
Number 1 is Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's where he lives.
Elon.
He lives that's his place.
And it's a dumpster.
How dumb are we for not picking Elon? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, pal.
Yeah, Barack Obama is number 2.
Oh, Taylor
Cristiano
Swift.
Ronaldo is number 3. He's showing up again. Number 4, Justin Bieber.
Really?
And number 5, Rihanna.
See, we should have guessed Taylor Swift because she's got a bunch of.
But you'd have been wrong. She's on the top 5.
Like Obama tweets all the time?
Apparently, yeah.
Well, wow. Okay, then.
He's endorsed a candidate for the.
I'm sure he has, but okay.
Hey, Facebook. Some of these were like blowing my mind. I'm just going to say.
I don't know. Zuckerberg. I mean, I am so not into Facebook.
I'm like, there's a competition on Facebook.
There are top 5 accounts.
I don't know, Becky. God, these are hard.
They are hard. I'm going to have a game for you next week, Becky.
Yeah,
Number
Becky.
1 is Facebook. Their own. Just like in Instagram, Facebook's own account is number 1.
It's a rigged.
Wrong.
Rigged. It's
number
rigged.
2, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wrong.
3,
Wrong.
Samsung.
Okay.
This is where it starts to get weird. 4, Mr. Bean.
Mr. I believe that.
Not
Totally
Mr.
believe it.
Beast, Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
How?
I just believe it. Mr. Bean is so popular with, I don't know. Mr. Bean and Mr. Beast, they're like,
I feel like it does
duo.
show you the age difference on Facebook compared to the other.
It's crazy.
And then number 5 is CGTN. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. Here, let me see. It's an international media organization.
Yeah, one thing that we have to remember is that these are platforms that are popular all over the world.
Garen Noon is a creator, and I want to say he's Scottish. And he's the one that says, "Follow me, I'm delicious." I love him. He's only got 1 million followers on a TikTok, but he's so funny.
So this is the last one I'm going to ask you, and then I have 2 that I'm going to tell you because I know that you will have no clue. And then we're going to have the bonus question. But next we're going to do YouTube. This one should be easier.
Should it though? They're all hard.
Dude, you know it's got to be Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast is number 1.
Got to be.
With 317 million current subscribers.
Holy crap.
That's just a couple. I mean, hey.
Then we have T-Series, which I don't know what that is, which as popular as it is, you would think I would know.
T like the letter T or like TEA?
T-Series, like the letter T. Number 3 is Cocomelon.
Good.
Cocomelon, oh my word.
Ready for that overnight sensation?
4 is SET India. It could be set, but it's all in caps. SET space India. And number 5 is Kids Diana Show. And my kids, you may not have heard of this, but my kids love Diana.
Like What's Diana? All I can think is like Christian Diana singing, and that's probably not it.
It's a little girl that just plays, has adventures. It's really boring to watch if you're grown, but kids love it.
How come some of those little Scottish kids talking didn't make it? And Scottish babies
Dude,
laughing. Man, that's
I
the best
love
thing
those.
ever.
Or like the dodo.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stop and watch that all day.
I know. I'll hit it during work and be like, oh, crud. Now I got to take 10 minutes off my time clock.
I included this one just because it exists, but I'm just going to tell you these because we hate it and we're not even on there, and that's Threads.
No.
It's Neymar Jr., Selena Gomez, Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian, and Jennifer Lopez.
Yuck.
How did Jennifer Lopez get up in there?
Because people are hating on her right now.
She's getting divorced again.
Oh, see, that's how out of it I am. I did not know that. I'm like, did she do something?
You mean I knew that and you didn't? That's shocking.
Terrible, horrible, very bad, no good movie she just made. Woohoo!
Again, it's not anime, so I don't know about it.
I didn't know she made it. I'm so tired of hearing about her, honestly, that I just don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
The number one Twitch streamer is Ninja, which is probably the only one you've ever heard of. So I'll just say him.
Hey, I'm old Becky. Knock, knock. Say who's there. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I'm old Becky. I don't watch Twitch.
What's Twitch? No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, I streamed on Twitch one time just to see what it was like. And this was several years ago. I played Diablo and I played it super poorly. And 12 people watched me play it.
Oh,
and I just thought that was so weird. 12 strangers who don't know me watched me play a game that I don't play well just to watch me play it.
What did they used to call the streaming live service on Twitter?
Periscope?
Yes.
That was on Twitter?
Yeah.
That's Periscope by itself.
Yeah, it was by itself, but it was Twitter. You could literally go in there at night and not turn your screen on and people would watch it.
It's so crazy. It's like I imagined that people watch these game streamers either to learn how to play games because they're really good at the games or because they're like half-dressed girls. I was neither of those things, and people still watch me play. I mean, Granted, only 12 people, but it was the first and only time I ever streamed, and 12 complete strangers watched me.
You know what? I want to come back. What? Vines.
That's like TikTok now, though.
There's a whole bunch of TikToks that are Vines.
I know, but Vines. It was
my 19-year-old daughter loves to just play Vine compilations on YouTube.
I love that. And I mean, the second you said that, my first thing jumped in my brain was, look at all those chickens.
The first thing that jumped in mind was the girl turning around with the sunglasses.
I think of the ones my kids still repeat,
Mary Chrysler.
Yeah, and the, I don't know, blank, but, road work ahead. Well, I hope it does. Like all those.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime somebody says that to me, I always have to come back with, I sure hope it does.
There you go. See?
So now that we've heard all of these names, the final bonus question, name 2 people in the top 5 most followed people on social media, period.
Mr. Beast.
I will give you one hint. Mr. Beast is not one of them.
What?
He's on YouTube. He's big on YouTube, but he's not the whole thing.
Overall?
Kylie?
I hope not.
Kendall?
I love them up there.
No Kardashians.
I'm old Becky. Hit me.
There's some names that we've repeated on these.
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez is number 2.
Boom!
Good.
Which is crazy, right? Number 1. One is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Of course it is.
He was on all of the list almost. Justin Bieber is number 3. 4 is Taylor Swift, who showed up on none of the lists. So that's crazy to me. She just has so many on all of them, but not enough to be in the top of any of them. But still enough overall to make it to the top 5 list of all the platforms.
Is it because everybody else is talking about her? Or does it mean her accounts?
It's her accounts. And number 5 is Ariana Grande, who also I don't think was on our list, on the other lists.
She's in the new Wicked, Karen.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I know. Jury's out on that one. It's coming at Thanksgiving. Shameless plug.
I will go watch it. I'm a musical theater junkie, and I will watch basically any musical theater movie that comes out and probably hate them all with very few exceptions.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yep. We'll be there too.
Because like once you've seen it live, I feel like it's really hard to make them. I'm like, I just want a movie of the stage show. I love it when they do that, when they just record the actual stage production and make it the movie. But they have like better camera angles like they did with Hamilton.
Yeah.
Like that's perfect. Let's just do that. And Cats, not the new Cats, the 90s Cats.
Yes.
All those 80s movie remakes too. Quit remaking them. They were great when
I never want to see. I'm not going to watch a new Never-Ending Story. I'm not going to watch a new. I'm never going to watch a new ET. I don't want that. Nobody
Princess Bride.
Where's the creativity in the world? It's gone.
Plus, if they remake Never-Ending Story or Labyrinth, which they can't remake any of that. But I can only be scarred for life when the horse dies. What?
No.
Once in your whole life.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Horse dies.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, you're like 30-something years too late.
Right.
You've had time.
I watched
your
the
own
Never-Ending
fault.
Story on like repeat when I was a little kid.
I love that song.
I
Love
like
the
the
song.
Dark Crystal.
Oh, I watched that too. Yeah.
Scarred you for life.
Yeah.
Do you
I
remember?
just loved those little people, like the puppet people. I thought they were so cool.
The Skeksis freak me out. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's
All right
true.
then.
I tried to show my kid when he was younger. He was like, maybe that was the best
Aiden.
choice.
My 19-year-old loves Labyrinth. Like it's one of her
I
favorites.
love Labyrinth. You remind me of the Babe. Yeah, good one.
Sippin Social Tea this week. This is something that we, as outsourced social media people, have to deal with a lot. This was written by somebody that was in-house, but also this is something we deal with. Love being in a meeting and hearing for the first time about a giant social campaign involving talent, influencers, video content, and possibly creating new accounts. Because why would we include the person who will have to do most of the planning and work? We love it, hashtag sarcasm, when our clients are like, hey, we've got this big thing coming up in 4 days. Can you put it out on social media? Well, yeah, that'd been good to know 2 months ago.
Can you put this PDF on Facebook?
Can you put this link in the Instagram caption, please?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
I have this irrational irritation with QR codes too. Can you put this QR code? No, because I'm looking at it on my phone. Why would I do that?
Why would you
When
do that?
people send me a QR code on my phone, like they're like,
Yeah.
Yes.
we're all having to put in for Venmo on something, and they send me the QR code of their Venmo. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get another person's phone
Nobody
to get
cares,
this
Barbara.
QR code. Like that doesn't work.
It's ranks up there with the URL and a caption on Instagram. Absolutely not.
I know, right?
So we're starting a new series this week, actually, proposed by our fearless leader, Karen, and that is a positive post of the week. So we wanted to spread a little happiness and joy and not just complain. And so Karen has our positive post of the week.
Okay, just in case you guys hate this, let me pull it up real quick.
Now I'm a little cautious.
Should we have let
warning us.
Karen do this?
Maybe we should have vetted this a little bit, Karen. Oh, it's a
Ready.
video?
Yeah, it's a video.
We won't give up until we get hashtag justice for possum.
Okay.
So you're going to have to explain what all that was, because people are just going to have heard a Lauren Daigle song and they're going to have no idea what happened.
This little pig defended his herd from an attack from two not friendly dogs.
Was a herd of like sheep or goats or something?
It was sheep and goats. And
He's a sheep pig. Instead of a sheepdog, he's a sheep pig.
like
That's a
Babe,
new one.
like real life Babe. And the owner didn't realize anything was wrong until the name of the pig is Possum. Possum started pulling the herd in to the house so that they could be protected. And then the owner went running. But by the time the owner got to Possum, she'd already run off the two dangerous dogs and sustained pretty serious injuries. They took her ear off. But she is recovering nicely. She's recuperating. And they didn't lose any sheep. She protected her entire herd, which I think is just so incredibly sweet.
In the words of Charlotte, that's some pig.
That's some pig.
We can't play stuff like that, Karen. That makes me sad.
I was waiting for the Sarah McLachlan to come on.
No.
And then we show the bacon.
Sorry.
No.
Okay, this is a little bit less emotional version.
That's too heavy.
If you prefer this is the less emotional version. If I can.
I'm sorry. I'm giving my opinion.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. For those of you listening, this is an animated version that has turned the events into a cute little cartoon.
It's sweet.
Instead of seeing an actual injured pig, we see a little hero pig with a mad look on its face running off the dogs.
Well, if you'd prefer, there's also a lovely, I also cried watching this one. An older man fell and broke his leg in his front yard, and his dog went and walked up and down the highway until somebody saw him and stopped, and then took help to his owner. His owner was rescued.
I want you for next week to find a positive that doesn't start with a tragedy.
No
we
kidding.
have to rectify.
Yeah, those are all precious, but Karen, no animals.
We have to go a long way to get to the positive.
Gosh, I'm waiting for the donation at the end.
So sweet. Come on, that's so sweet. That little pig is so sweet.
It is very sweet, but
Laura's pig shaming me.
I think I would have a pet pig, but that was sad to me. That was not positive.
I have a bunch of positive stuff, and I love animal videos. There is nothing sweeter than the grumpy dad or granddad with the animal he said do not get.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Oh, yeah.
There's this little old, and he's not, I mean, he's older, but he's not old. And every time you show him, he's in he didn't have a shirt on. I don't know why. And they got a kitten, and he's like, I don't want that little hairy rat. And then the next time you see him, he's like, oh, it's a sweet baby.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, it's not as sweet as possum.
Join us next week when we will talk about a positive story that does not begin with tragedy. It's like a Disney movie. It does not begin with the mom dying and end with the child becoming a hero.
Hello, there's a lot of death in Disney. Let me just throw that out there.
That's why I prefer Studio Ghibli.
The original fairy tales are pretty darn grim.
Thanks for listening to the Social U podcast, sponsored by Social University. We'll see you next week.